Good morning. I have to talk in the round here. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to National Cathedral School's Flag Day and Commencement ceremony. You are truly having the most unique ceremony today, which even in a pandemic is embodying many of the traditions we hold so near and dear to our hearts. Class of 2020, visionaries, you are here, you made it, this is your day. You are, woo! You are brave and brilliant, and we gather with great joy to celebrate you and all of your accomplishments. A job very well done. Each of you personifies a unique expression of this school's core values of excellence, service, courage, and conscience. We want you to savor this moment with your class and remember how you have survived, endured, and triumphed together. Today's combined ceremony is a testament to and an honor of your resilience, grit, talents, and leadership. We hope your next pathways and adventures in life involve sharing your unique, meaningful, and confident voices with the world. We hope you seek excellence, not perfection. We hope you maintain strong integrity, value multiple perspectives, and find joy in what you pursue. And we hope you keep in touch with NCS. We are better because of you and are blessed by your presence, near and far. Barbara Kingsolver wrote, "The very least you can do in your life is figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside that hope. Not admire it from a distance, but live right into it, under its roof." Please remember, you will always be a visionary from the class of 2020. Let us hope you keep your visions alive and flourishing as you fly from the close and embrace the next steps forward in your lives. Godspeed. I invite Amelia Griffin, Senior Warden of the Vestry, to offer our opening prayer.
Grant us, O God, clarity and memory, so that those of us gathered here may retain not only what we have learned, but also the gifts of friendship, hours of discovery, and moments of insight that have brought us closer to one another and ultimately to the true self that resides within. May you, in your great wisdom, allow us to nurture this discovery and walk from this place confident about who we are and what we have become. Amen.
Thank you, Amelia. We will now hear the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Please be seated. At this time, we will recognize the students who received awards during our school awards and closing ceremony in June. We ask that the recipients please stand at your seats and be recognized. While we know that you are eager to cheer on your classmates, I ask that you hold your applause until the last name in each category is called. The English department presented the following awards at the closing ceremony in June. The English award was awarded to Philippa Self. And the Joy Pregnal Creative Writing Award to Catherine Ambrose.
The Science Department presented the Science Award to Beatrice Markham. The Math Computer Science Department presented the Virginia K. Robertson Award for Distinction in Mathematics to Annika Mitra. And the Technology Award was presented to Audrey May.
The Social Sciences Department presented the Martha Sharma Geography Achievement Award to Jada Fife, the Elizabeth Fry Award to Electra Papathanasiou Goldstein, and the Social Sciences Award to Kalina Blake.
The World Languages Department presented the French Award to Hanghang Vicky Wang. The Spanish Award to Isabella Hayes. The Chinese Award to Jillian Moore. And the Laub Novak Classics Award to Beatrice Frum.
The Religious Studies Department presented their department award to Amelia Griffin. And the Visual Arts Department presented the following awards. The Art Prize to Sydney Featherstone. And the Rhode Island School of Design Award to Jillian Moore.
The following Performing Arts Awards were also presented at the closing ceremony. The Theater Department presented the Gwendolyn B. Coney Award for Excellence in Theater to Sierra Hargrove. The Physical Education Department presented the Dance Award to Hanghang Vicky Wang. And the Music Department presented the Instrumental Music Award to Jada Fife and the Choral Music Award to Lydia Danis.
The flag, presented for the highest grade point average for 10th through 12th grade, was awarded to two students, Avery Borgman and Amelia Griffin. Please join me in recognizing these students for their academic achievement.
Representatives from the Washington National Cathedral also participated in the virtual awards ceremony and recognized the following students. The Mount St. Alban Award was presented to Nicole Verno-Jonas. The Cathedral Medal to Sophie Horvath. The John Templeton Krause Memorial Prize and the St. Peter and St. Paul Medal was presented to Emily Kim.
Each year, the senior class selects two members of their class for special recognition. This year, the class of 2020 bestowed the Class of 1998 Award to Catherine Ambrose and the Helen Harker Albee 1925 Award to Sydney Featherstone.
The following school award recipients were selected by the faculty and received the following recognition. The Chester Community Service Award to Sophia Charles. The Geraldine Worry Faculty Leadership Award to Anaya Rogers. The Sylvia Thomas Memorial Award to Bridget Scott. The Bishop Scholar Award to Avery Borgman. And the Joshua Evans Jr. Memorial Award to Priya Phillips.
And finally, the Head of School Awards were presented to Samantha Dowkey and India Reynolds. Please join me in celebrating these award recipients. We will now hear from our Flag Day speaker, Anaya Rogers. You're on. Do you have her speech?
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to thank my classmates for selecting me to be the speaker today. I know that any of you would have been an excellent choice, so it is an honor to share with you all my gratitude for this class. And of course, I also want to thank my family, specifically my mom and dad, for sacrificing so much for me to be an NCS lifer and soon a graduate. NCS has given me a lot, but I am most thankful for my classmates. However, the 70 members of this grade could not have made it here without the support and guidance of our families. So thank you all for believing in us and cultivating our success. For 9 years now, I have been a part of the visionary class of 2020. We have the well-earned reputation of being one of the most tight-knit grades in all of NCS history. Then, suddenly, a deadly virus sent us away for the rest of the school year. Some asked, how can a grade maintain such a reputation while quarantined? The answer lies on the foundation of our grade since its beginning. In February of 2012, when we were in 4th grade, Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old black boy, was murdered by a man who found him to be suspicious. The next day, Ms. Purnell, then head of lower school, called for a division-wide meeting to support students through our extreme confusion and concern. As 9-year-olds, most of us were clueless about the context of this cruelty and the proper language to express our feelings surrounding this. So many of us were overwhelmed with grief, but at no point were we alone. As we left Proctor Gym that day, my non-black classmate said to me, "I'm sorry, and that was so mean of him," or "Why did he do that?" Even as 4th graders, we exercise our skills of compassion and support for one another. Though I cannot really put words to my feelings, I knew for the first time since arriving to NCS that I was not alone. I came to NCS from a school that looked very different demographically, so the adjustment was unusual. I was one of few girls of color, and initially I felt quite isolated from the rest of the grade. The solidarity that my classmates showed me that morning is something that I will never forget, nor was it the last time we came together to hold each other up. Our grade has been determined to create safe spaces through challenging norms and standing up for one another. One example that I recall and that we always come back to is the fishbowl discussion held in the 2019 Diversity Forum. In this discussion, we circulated through questions and responders who were in the center of the room, or the fishbowl. Last year's topic was ability, and the statements and responses were deeply personal. We discussed what ability means to us and the varying roles it plays in our lives. There were tears all around, and suddenly, one student began to break down. Instantly, people were handing her tissues and patting her back and telling her that she was okay. I pulled her into the hallway, and for a while, I just held her. There was not much that either of us had to say. At the time, the two of us were not very close friends, but the compassion I learned from my classmates shined through and allowed me to be there and listen. After that discussion, almost all of the grade sat on the lawn and ate lunch together. For the rest of that day, we checked in on one another, laughed, and just enjoyed the energy that we created. When I look back on that discussion in the study hall room, I cannot help but smile. In hindsight, I realized that we created a safe space in that study hall in spite of the stuffy and humid climate fueled by an internal energy that each member of our class felt it took along with us for the rest of our high school careers. The high school cliche often comes back to the scene of the lunchroom. In Mean Girls, for example, the entire skeleton of the student body is displayed through cafeteria interactions. There is a hierarchy of groups based on how cool they are and set the tone for other students. The lunch table culture that 2020 set looked completely different. This year, we had somewhat of an open seating arrangement at lunch tables. Everyone was welcome and encouraged to participate in whatever discussion we had that day. After the busyness of classes, I looked forward to the pockets of free time that we had in the lunchroom, to random interactions in the hallways and sharing private information in the senior room with a classmate with whom you had barely exchanged a word. The class of 2020 propels safe spaces and celebrates each other. We are the grade who wins writing, drawing, music, performing arts, public speaking, debating, and robotics, ice skating, and other athletic awards and competitions. We are the grade who almost set the chapel on fire. We are the grade who protests and sits in and challenges discomfort, even when it's with the people we know best. We are the grade who pushed so hard for a mental health awareness club, for diversity in education and curriculum, for more gender-inclusive ways to reference and address the student body, for a booster club, Roll Cash, for mixers and forums and outreach to other schools. And most recently, we created a fundraiser for the Legal Defense Fund for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and sparked discourse surrounding the presence of anti-Black racism and oppressive systems in society. And we just voted in our first primaries and hopefully an election. So today, June 5th, 2020, August 1st, 2020, this is who we celebrate. The extraordinary, unbelievably talented, well-spoken, and outspoken visionary class of 2020. In the midst of our celebration, let us not forget that our nation is mourning. This class is mourning. And my classmates found, once again, the space to be compassionate and generous. Our language and our understanding of the complicated racial history of our country has evolved since we mourned another Black person back in 4th grade. Even though back then we lacked sophisticated language, we already had the empathy and care for others that influences our speech, actions, in response to the crisis today, and our vision for tomorrow, because we are, after all, visionary. The traditional definition of the word visionary is to be marked by foresight and imagination. But what does that really mean? I certainly do not think that any of us could have imagined virtual graduation ceremonies. But to me, being a visionary is less about predicting the future and more about ways to navigate its uncertainties when you get there. The virus, though awful and unwanted, allowed our class to find innovative ways to continue to come together through daily Rosebud Thorns gatherings planned by Katie and Annika, our amazing class president and vice president, or socially distanced cathedral lighting viewings, or delivering goods when someone makes a college decision. Our class has found new traditions to replace the ones we have lost. As leaders, we are constantly reimagining what normal does and should look like. Motivational speaker and author Steve Maraboli once wrote, "A true visionary shows me their vision with their actions." So my question for you, 2020, is, what would you do to change the future when you get there? Thank you. I wish peace and love to you all.
Thank you, Anaya, for those inspiring words. We will now begin our transition into the commencement portion of today's ceremony. Will the senior class please rise?